How's it going, Cryptown? In this video, I'm about to tell you why many traders will be deceived once again, but not you. Where is the market bottom and when will it be blasted off to new heights? Where will Bitcoin be in a year or two? And how to make money with a tool that has been working for 100 years. Watch with all eyes and ears open until the end and earn. Now, when the market is near the bottom and a lot of negativity is spread in the news, many bloggers are expecting a new fall. And most likely, this may serve as just another trap for you, for all of us. You know why? Let's just look at the fact on the chart. I will show you that history repeats itself, no matter what anyone expects. During the first cycle, when Bitcoin prices corrected by 90+% to $2 back in 2011, the majority thought it would go to $1. It didn't though. In a second cycle, when Bitcoin dropped by about 87% to 160 in 2015, everyone was saying how it would fall to 100. It did not happen either. In the third cycle, Bitcoin has dropped from 19 to 3 grand. Everyone was assuring that Bitcoin would go to 1,000. And again, we saw no such prices. As for now, remember what the majority has been claiming in the last couple of months. Bitcoin will proceed to $10,000. Did this fall happen? I'm not saying that the lowest point has been passed, just speaking facts. And the facts are quite telling. Throughout the existence of Bitcoin, the same story has been surfacing numerous times. Nothing came out of waiting for a drop to $1. Nothing came out of waiting for 100. Nothing came out of waiting for 1,000. And now we are waiting for 10,000. And no exception to previous cases can be noticed yet. According to the chart, there are clear cycles. Every 4 years, the price reaches its peak and then significantly declines to the lowest marks. 4 years later, the tendency occurs once again. 1,155 days have passed since the bottom of the first cycle till the bottom of the second. As soon as the volatility began to decrease in the second cycle, it took 1,428 days to reach the next collapse. And now listen closely. It again took exactly 1,428 days to get from the bottom of the last cycle to our current local one at 15,500. Man, is this magic or something? Whether the true bottom was hit or not, only the future will tell. Still, the numbers coincidence sounds simply unrealistic. Now let's see how much time has passed between the peaks of the cycles. From 2011 to 2013, it was 910 days. Then from 2013 to 17, it was 1,477 days. But between 2017 and 2021, yet again, we run into the mysterious number of 1,428 days. All these values were displayed in approximately 4 years. That is, history shows us 4 years are needed for the price to move from peak to peak. The same goes for the minimums. Exactly 4 years. I am no fortune teller, thus anything can happen. However, according to the mentioned examples, we see this model still working. A similar pattern can be traced in time intervals between the bottom and the peak within one cycle. The two previous ones coincided in a span of 1,064 days. To be honest, I'm not even surprised anymore. Another striking similarity dwells upon the price movement. From the peak to the bottom, the price decreases along clear trend lines of resistance. With each cycle passed, volatility falls and the trend's angle turns less vertical. Then, as the line approaches its breaking point, a new cycle of growth begins. At first smooth, and then the rocket flies sharply. As you can see, we already broke this line at the beginning of 2023 and are testing it from above with weekly candlestick charts. Whether 15,500 price was the real bottom of the current cycle, no one can tell you for sure. Nevertheless, one can notice the similarity of sentiment at the lowest points of each cycle. Upon analyzing the bottom values of every cycle, the crowd and bloggers are sure that Bitcoin would go even lower, and every time the market deceived them. Thus, no one could buy at the bottom. Remember, While at the bottom, no one will tell you that this is the bottom you were asking for. As a rule, the media is constantly pouring negative reviews and making the traders afraid of investing, waiting for prices to go down. And just like that, the lucky rocket eventually flies away without them. We saw how history works. All the crowd's expectations remain just expectations. The market will simply not allow all of us to earn. Therefore, nothing changed in this regard. Think back to what happened a month or two ago, when we were at around 16,000 bucks. Needless to say, most were looking for a further decline. There are always risks of decrease, so we can easily end up with 10 grand or less. But in addition to chances of prices dropping even lower, there is always a chance of you missing the boarding on a lucky rocket of profit. Hit the like button under the video, give us a subscribe and support our new channel. Useful videos like that will be regularly released here, helping you to earn money and not fall into crowd traps. Now let's try to transfer this model to the future and try to predict when to expect the peak of the new cycle and the bottom of the next cycle. The whole model clearly fits into the 4-year Bitcoin cycles. 3 years of growth, a year of correction, and back to square one. Many claimed how things would be different in 2022. As a result, we witnessed the entire 2022 being a year of correcting, as it was in 2014 and 18. Believe it or not, but at the beginning of 2023, Bitcoin began to rise once again. According to the 4-year cycles model, the next peak awaits us in 2025. By following our structure more thoroughly, we come to the conclusion that it can be expected somewhere in September-October 2025. If we assume that the bottom was reached at 15.5 grand and measure 1,064 days, as in the previous 2 cycles, we also get October 2025. Well, if the scheme still remains active, then the bottom value of the next cycle will await us around October 2025. Moving on to the big question, how to buy at the bottom. Basically, models are not supposed to predict the future, but only to give an approximate understanding of at which point we find ourselves now. The current situation is not unique, as things happen the exact same way. Only the cover undergoes changes in other events, on the news, etc. The cryptocurrency market is only 10 plus years old, but the stock market is over 150 years old. Both follow the same laws, both are cyclical. Alright, upgrade your arsenal with an interesting tool that has been working for almost 100 years. These cycles, predicted many years ago, are still proving their worth. The stock market survived 2 world wars and the Great Depression, so why should the age-old history crumble this time? So don't do bottom catching. Pay attention to price ranges, especially to the beginning of a massive negative direction everyone uses to predict a further decline, where, according to the time model, one can see a presumed, but not actual, bottom. It is in this range where you just start to gradually gain a position. Here's how to buy at the very bottom. All these models do not show where the bottom is, they rather hint at where the most favorable range might occur. Right now, in terms of Bitcoin trading, we're still in that range. If you look at statistics, purchases made in this range were not mistaken. Remember, your task is not to guess where the bottom lies, but to earn. In this video, I analyzed what could happen, judging by certain historical patterns, and not what exactly will happen on the market. Wishing you all the best in increasing your profit. Support our channel and see you in next videos.